Well, a big hello from Google HQ. My name is Greg Fry, and we're here for the pre-show of Ireland Best Young Entrepreneur. What is the pre-show? Well, hopefully in the next 30 to 45 minutes, we will meet some of Ireland's top entrepreneurs, people vying for the overall title of Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur 2018. We hopefully will have some guests dropping in alongside participants. We're hopefully going to snag some of last year's participants to find out how their lives have changed since being here in Google HQ this time last year. We're also expecting the Minister, Pat Breen, to pop in for a quick chat and to tell us his thoughts on Ireland's Best Entrepreneur competition and how the government is assisting small businesses and entrepreneurs to grow and to build the Irish economy. At the end of the day, it's very much the young people of today that are building innovative businesses that are literally our future. So Google supporting us, the government supporting us, and the brilliant participants are literally putting Ireland on the map. So that's our plan for the next 45 minutes. As regards some of the participants, let me have a look at the brochure here. We have a guy called Matthew McCann from Access Earth, and he's vowing under the best new business idea category. Now Matthew has come up with an amazing concept of essentially TripAdvisor for people that are accessibility impaired. So here we go, live. I'm talking to myself and I'm really excited because to my left we have our very first guest of the afternoon. Come on down.
Hi.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Hi, Greg.
Good stuff. Lovely to meet you. Tell us your name and your business.
So my name is Jess Kavanagh and my business is called Ullen, which is the Irish word for wool.
Wool.
So that sets the precedence
Okay.
for what I'm about to say. So we source ethical yarns from South America and we hand dye them in rural Cavan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So very cool. And I love the ethical nature of
It was very important for me to keep it ethical.
So how did the business idea come about?
Well, I studied fashion in college and I majored in knitwear, and the yarns I used there were synthetic and the colours were very limited.
Yeah.
So while the patterns I was designing were contemporary, the yarns I had to use were not. So then in 2016 I got pregnant and I moved to Cavan to be with my partner. And I always thought I'd end up in a big city like New York or London and have a job that I really wanted there. So I kind of found myself thinking about what I was going to do with myself in Cavan. And so I started toying with the idea of hand-dyed yarn.
Cool.
And so I opened Ullen in April of 2017.
Okay.
And in the last 12 months, I've grown the business from a team of 1, which was me,
Okay.
to a team of 6.
Wow.
And we have over 50 wholesalers, which are spread over 5 continents. And yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that sounds incredible. So that is amazing. Like, how have you done that? Like, that's
Well,
incredible.
we grew it quite organically. We had a 0 budget for marketing, as most startups typically have.
Yeah.
But what we had was creativity. So we introduced social media very early on in our business, and we have amassed over 10,000 followers, and that's global. And it's a really wonderful community that I've gotten myself into. You know, our followers are very loyal and they're really beautiful people. I've met them at a couple of not all of them,
Sure.
but I've met a good few of them at places like Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and there's an Irish festival about to take place next month. It's the first one. It's called Woolen, and I'll be meeting a lot more of them there as well. So the fact I can actually meet my customers,
Absolutely.
and it's not just always through social media. And I feel we have very authentic content, and people really respond to that very well if it's authentic, if you mean what you're doing, they respond very well.
Yeah, I had a look at some of your social media, and I think
Yeah.
you've got 4 things right on
Yes.
social, which is brilliant. And I think it's very important to do stuff offline as well, which is what you're saying. But what you've done is you've let the right people know you exist. So you built
Yeah.
the right followers, so the right audience.
Yeah.
But the thing that you've done that maybe a lot of other businesses don't achieve with social media, I think, is you've developed what I would call likability. So people, you've actually built a community that people are engaging with, and they like you.
That's because I engage back.
Yeah.
And I also I engage back, but I also I suppose I want to see people. I want people to see me as like I'm a mother as well. And I live in rural Cavan, and I don't want to just spam people with, buy this, buy this, buy this. I want them to know that I am a person.
Yeah.
I care deeply about what I do, and I care deeply about my customers, and I want to show them my life, not just my product.
Yeah.
So it is building a social media around me and my life and
relationships.
What I do. Yeah.
Relationships, which is absolutely amazing. The other thing that's happened with your social media is you haven't been afraid, when needed, to ask for the business. And sometimes in social media, people are so good about building relationships, they forget to ask for the goddamn sale. So you do that, but you've also now got customers that have turned into your advocates, which I think is magnificent. So an amazing business. Quick question for you. We got an audience now.
We have an audience.
But a quick question for you is, if you were to give yourself an entrepreneurial piece of advice, if you went back in a time machine 2 years, and you were talking to yourself, what advice would you give yourself?
Be braver.
Be braver.
Be braver. I feel, I'm only 12 months in business, and I feel I am brave.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, I would have said be braver.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And like it's very scary going out on your own.
Like I don't have a business background. I came from art college, so it's been a huge learning curve. And I've read a lot of books, not just about business, but a lot of books about building a responsible company and a company of culture and meaning. So, there's just so many aspects of it, and I'm still learning. So
you'll always be learning, which is great. How's the IBYE or Ireland Best Young Entrepreneur experience been for you?
It's been really energizing and positive. I entered this not thinking I'd get anywhere.
We were in the finals.
We were 6 months into business, and I had just hired my first employee. So taking on the IBYE was a bit daunting. I didn't know what to expect. But with the help of my Leo and the mentors that were, I suppose, at our disposal, I've grown confidence that I never thought I'd ever have around my business. And I'm, if you asked me to talk about my business this time last year, there's not a hope I would have ever been able to sit down and discuss it with you. I was so shy, and I was so reserved, and I guess that goes back to my point about being brave. The Leo office in Cavan have really helped me be brave around my business. So
it's great to see that.
Chances.
Great to see that support. I mean, it's really important that you do reach out to your local enterprise office if you are setting up, or even if you have an existing business, because the support is magnificent.
I actually wish I'd gone earlier in the business, but.
So you've learned to be braver through the IBYE competition. We're not long, about an hour before the big show kicks off, and we'll have our fingers and toes crossed for you. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
See you later. Take care.
Bye.
We have a very special gentleman in the room that's just come in, and I don't know whether he's a contestant. I think maybe a little bit too old for a contestant. We've got the fantastic Pat Breen with us. Pat,
Greg,
how you doing?
Good afternoon.
It's been at least a year since we chatted last.
It's been a year, I think it has, but it has been a very eventful year. A lot happening over that year.
Yeah.
We're still the fastest growing economy in Europe.
Yeah, fantastic.
And the IBYE competition is still going from strength to strength. And so I suppose it's a sign of the success of the competition over the last 4 years. So I'm delighted to be here today, my second time here.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear some of the contestants and the comments being made there by Jessica. Be brave.
Yeah, be brave, absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing I have to say, and I have to take my virtual hat off to you, Pat, is you've been a big champion of this competition over the last number of years, and even talking to participants, your name comes up as someone that supported them. So that's fantastic. One challenge that we're going to have from an entrepreneurial perspective in Ireland is, as the economy picks up, fastest growing economy in Europe, is how do we encourage entrepreneurs to set up their own businesses and not work for organizations?
Well, first of all, can I say that I really enjoy going around the country, visiting the local enterprise offices. And when I normally visit the local enterprise offices, they showcase some of their people that they have created startup companies in the various different sectors. I find that really fulfilling in my role as business minister. To meet all these people, young, old, whatsoever, age shouldn't make a difference.
Absolutely.
But obviously, I mean, we have to encourage young people to be entrepreneurs, to start up their own businesses. And I suppose, what have we done? Well, I suppose you look at the success of this competition since it was inaugurated back in 2014.
Yeah.
I think it's about 5,700 entries into the competition, and that they've created over 2,200 jobs. And we've invested about €5 million over that period of time. That's a small amount of money when you consider the benefit to the Irish economy, because what's great about the entrepreneurs and the young entrepreneur competition in particular, and the LEOs, is that it drives jobs in every region and in every county. There are 31 local enterprise offices around Ireland, and they focus very much on micro enterprises, small jobs, 2, 3 or 4, where you won't get the big multinational companies into areas. The LEOs are there, and small businesses contribute so much. Remember, 99% of the enterprises in Ireland are made up of SMEs that employ nearly 70% of the workforce, and that's an amazing statistic. No matter where you go all over the world, the same statistics prop up the importance of micro enterprises, indigenous industry, and I suppose for us here in Ireland, I suppose the success of our small businesses has been contributed so much by the local enterprise offices, by Enterprise Ireland, and by my own department in particular, who are all the time looking at innovative ideas to see if we can get more entrepreneurs in there. And to be fair to the third level institutions, they work really hard as well.
Oh, they do. And I mean, the one thing that we talk about, the importance of the SMEs for the Irish economy, and it's absolutely vital. But again, tip hat to yourself as well, is what we are doing is we are looking at brilliant small businesses like the businesses we're seeing from the guys today, and a lot of those businesses are growing into big businesses thanks to the support from Enterprise Ireland. So we're increasing employment across the country, but we're also creating some global players from supporting a lot of these SMEs. So it's great to see.
Yes, indeed. And also, I suppose we have to remember the success also of the student enterprise competition.
That's right. Yes.
I visited some of the schools involved and some of the winners in the course of my job over the last 12 months or so. And that final is on next month again. That's and that's very exciting as well. You have hundreds of entries from all the post-primary schools all over the country. And even, it goes right down to the primary schools as well. So I think you have to start early, encourage that whole area of, starting up innovation, be able to think for yourself. Yeah. The whole area of creativity. And of course, if my department then will assist those in conjunction with the various agencies to ensure that we are, I suppose, keep up our reputation here. Because remember, last year I think it was the Wall Street Journal named Ireland as one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the European Union. I mean, that's great statistics to be able to tell your colleagues all over Europe entrepreneurial spirit that's out there. And I suppose that's part of the reason why we're getting in so many of the multinational companies into the country as well. I travelled to Silicon Valley and to Seattle. In fact, I visited Google and Uber when I was there itself. And I suppose the whole idea of that journey for me was to meet most of those IT companies and that have a footprint in Ireland, and also the social media companies. And the one thing which they all highlighted during the course of my visit was the availability of talent. and it's that talent is extremely important to us out there. So you have to start early. These competitions are extremely important, and this competition in particular, the IBYE competition, because here you have the best startup company, you have the best established company, and people with good ideas. That's what you want to do. Collaborate, work together in digital hubs, so that people can share their ideas. And you know, it's the simple things out there that can create a startup that will grow and grow, as you rightly pointed out.
That's brilliant. And it's great to see young Irish people taking on an I can do attitude. It's fantastic to see, and it's amazing what we can do when we focus our mind from I can't do to I can do. Pat, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to, you mentioned the Student Enterprise Awards next month, you know, again, and it's great to see us starting to be entrepreneurial from a younger level still.
Greg, listen, thank you very much as well, and keep up the good work. I think this conversation here is with me and with the relevant other parties today is an important conversation. It's being streamed out live. But I think the one advice I would say out there for all of us is that we need to reward people that take risks.
Yeah.
And that's what this competition does, and I think we need to do more of that, because the future of work, it's changing rapidly. The digital technology is changing things in every sector, not just the digital sector. Everything is becoming digitalized, and we to be fair to the government and to be fair to everybody out there, we are embracing that technology. If we continue to embrace that technology, I believe Ireland will continue to be a world leader when it comes to technology.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Pat.
Greg.
Really appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Take care. So that was the fantastic Pat Breen, everyone. You'll be delighted to know I'm not going to be sitting on my own for very long. How you doing?
Good, Greg. How are you?
Long time no
see.
The last time Joe, we met Joe, technology was failing us miserably, wasn't it, Joe?
It was a little bit. I think we're in the technology capital of the world almost here, right?
In a better space here in Google HQ. Quick question before we start off is, did you get to the kids in time?
Not exactly, but there's no lasting scars, so it's all good.
Okay.
Good support network at home to help with that.
Great.
Yeah.
So the kids weren't left on the side of the road or anything like that.
No, exactly. Look, and I'll go into this. It's support network from home. It's the same for any startup.
Yeah.
We need to have support networks, and we have that. And the family aspect of it is fantastic.
So Joe, we're here. We're in the final in Google HQ. A little over an hour, or under an hour, the ceremony will have started. For the guys out there, tell us about your business, what your business name is, and what your business does.
Sure. Yeah. So my business name is Remote Signals, and we're an Internet of Things company. So we connect anything to anywhere. So effectively, like we're connecting the soil on farmers' fields to the internet, and from that we're actually getting information about when is the right time to actually spread fertilizer.
Brilliant.
So either it's too early and wasting the fertilizer, or is it too late and you've missed valuable days to actually to grow grass. And decisions that in the past, I suppose farmers traditionally would have just let grass grow.
Yeah.
Now they have to get, because of the winter we've just had,
absolutely,
and the fodder crisis, they actually need to get into the whole idea of growing grass rather than letting it grow, and data helps there. So we actually provide that. So with our technology, we actually put a sensor literally in the middle of a field, power it with AA batteries, and communicate vital information, so temperature and moisture, from that to the internet, where we can actually slice and dice that data and make valuable insights available to farmers. Wow. That's just one sector.
Yeah, but that's amazing. So connecting anything to anything. Something you mentioned to me the last day, which is incredible. AA batteries on a sensor in a field, helping farmers make more intelligent decisions when it comes to fertilizing their fields. Pretty cool. AA batteries, they last quite a long time, Joe, don't they?
They do, and I mean that means you kind of put the device to sleep a lot of the time. So little and often data is the key here. We're communicating over low-powered wide area networks. So I suppose machines, the soil, and different things, they don't consume data like we do. They don't watch Netflix. They don't want this. So there's almost what's been created, and it's newly globally available, these new networks. It's almost like the bike lane that sits beside that highway with the YouTube videos and like what we're streaming here today. This little bike lane, we need little bits of power, so little and often. So we take that temperature, we send it out, then we put the thing back to sleep. And if it does this, if it's only awake for 7 to 10 seconds a day, those AA batteries will last for years.
For years. See, that's incredible. So it is amazing that what companies like Joe's is doing is allowing us to make far more intelligent decisions and take the guesswork out of what we're doing. Even I don't even have to get up to go to my fridge to see whether there's a beer in the fridge anymore. I'll be able to see.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Using
No, I
the
mean,
internet
well,
things.
we're going to focus completely at businesses rather than the
course.
consumer and so we actually are connecting fridges to the internet. So we're actually putting temperature sensors in fridges in commercial businesses that have to,
Brilliant.
for health and safety reasons, have to record the temperature a couple of times a day to make sure that our milk has been stored, our butter has been stored at the right temperatures.
Brilliant.
So what we do there is we send alerts to shop owners if they go outside the desired temperature, but we also automatically send their HACCP report, so that health and safety report that gets audited, we actually send that directly to their inbox. But also while we're doing that, we're actually monitoring the health of the fridge, so we can capture a breakdown before it actually happens.
Wow.
So everything is safe. So that's what we're kind of doing. We're working in multi-sectors. So we spoke about the ag tech sector. We're doing a lot of work there. We're working in the food and cold chain sector. There is a cross between them in one sense. The agri-food sector is a huge global business, but we're looking to go, and our first products are in those two sectors. So at the whole idea, we're looking for customers, we're looking for businesses that want to connect some asset in their business that they need, whether they need to track it, whether they need to monitor temperature. Think of any type of sensor, we can connect it to the internet.
My head is hurting. It's amazing.
Yes.
So if there's businesses out there, how would they contact you, Joe?
So you can get onto us at remotesignals.ie.
Remotesignals.ie.
There's 3 of us in the business, so we're very active and very available to come and talk, and we have our technical co-founder as well, so we look at any engineering aspect no matter how difficult it is, and we like bringing that person along to initial meetings to really scope out, because a lot of businesses go first, wow, you can measure, like the mind-blowing aspect of it, but the whole idea here is to make sure that people are getting the most vital pieces of information at the right time.
And I like the fact that the TVs come on now in Google, which doesn't it lets you turn it off and everything. Fantastic.
Very good.
Give us a quick entrepreneurial tip, Joe. So if I'm thinking of setting up my business, maybe I have a really good idea, like maybe the Internet of Things. What tip would you give me?
It's all about messaging. It's all about communications. It's all about telling people what you do and making it easy for them to understand it. The advancements in tech is great, but at the end of the day, the farmer in the field doesn't really matter how easily what way he gets his data, as long as he gets it. So you have to tell him the benefits, you have to tell him, and you have to really focus on that. So it's all about communicating what you do and how you can help people. The fancy stuff underneath that all.
So keep your message simple and make sure your message is valuable to your audience, not a message that you want to force upon your audience.
Exactly.
That sounds sound advice. The Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur experience for you in 1 or 2 words or lines. Awesome. That's 1 word. That's even better. God, fair play to you, Joe.
There we go.
I'll have my fingers and toes crossed for you
Excellent.
after 1 o'clock. It's going to be a great time. I may even see you later this afternoon. So
Indeed.
that's the brilliant Joe, guys.
Thanks, Greg.
Wish him luck.
Cheers.
See you soon. Take care.
Go Remote Signals.
That's it. Go Remote Signals. Hashtag what team again, Joe?
Hashtag Cork City.
Hashtag Cork City. Go on, Cork City. Up the Rebels. The best beard in Google today is joining me on the couch now.
Oh, how's it going?
I'm just glad I didn't even try to compete with that fantastic beard.
It's one of these things that I grew myself, and it's been a long, hard, arduous process. But yeah, we're here.
It's magnificent.
Thank you very much.
So I'm Greg, mate.
Greg.
What's your name, and tell us about your business?
So I'm Owen Barr, and I run a company called More Irish Gin.
More Irish Gin. Sounds pretty interesting now. So tell me more. You're part of the gin revolution, are you?
Yeah. So this whole craft explosion
Yeah.
of gins that have just come out. So we set up in 2015. We've been on sale since November 2016, and here we are.
Brilliant. So, how did you decide, or even go to think about, I want to distill gin?
So a friend of mine was asking me, she goes, "Hey Owen, do you do what you love for a
Yeah.
living?" And I was like, "Well, no, I don't." And she goes, "Well, what do you love?" And I was drinking a glass of gin. I said, "Well, I love gin." And in the morning I kind of sobered up and was like, maybe there's something in this. Maybe the truth is like I said in jest.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, how am I going to create a gin? What am I going to make that's unique? So I wanted to make something that was a reflection of where I'm from, which is Tullamore, hence the name, More Irish Gin.
Yeah.
And I went about of 6 or 7 months of traveling around the world, from Australia to South Africa, Germany, Scotland, just learning about distilling, doing all my trade, and figuring out what I wanted to make.
So that's very brave.
Brave or stupid? We're not quite sure.
I think based on where you are sitting right now in the final of Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur, I think it's brave. How are you? Were there times along the journey where you'd nearly kind of wanted to give it up? You know, what kept you going? I think so many businesses fail maybe just before they're about to succeed because it's a journey.
There was so many times, like, as in there's so much legal and compliance and kind of all that sort of jazz. There's so many hurdles to actually go through in buying equipment, financing. So many times, like I'd say about once a quarter, I was like, "What am I doing here?" And I'd just be like, and then I'd have to go back and get someone to calm me down, like my brother or my girlfriend, and be like, "What are you doing?" You know.
So, entrepreneurial advice. So, for example, if I was thinking of setting up my whiskey plant, or I've got a passion for whiskey, which maybe I do. What advice would you give to someone thinking of setting up a drinks business?
It's always going to take longer than you think. It's always going to cost more than you think.
Okay.
That whole blissful naivety that you go into setting up a business with is fantastic to set up, and it gives you the energy.
Yeah.
But also you need someone who's going to be a realist and be like, okay, this is the realities of running a business. So don't get blinded by the lights and things like that, but also stick with the passion.
Stick with the passion. So yeah, fuel your passion. If you feel it in here, it's probably something worth pursuing. And the Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur competition for you, how's it been?
So it's been incredible.
Yeah. So what kind of what pieces of value do you reckon you've got out of it?
Well, you meet like 24 of the best young entrepreneurs in the country.
Yeah.
Like people who are absolutely phenomenal, stand out in their categories, people who are at different stages of the journey, people who are able to kind of share their experiences. And the thing is, being an entrepreneur is a lonely journey because
Absolutely.
you're doing something that's one, incredible, and you're challenging so many different things, but also it's so unique. But when you meet other people who are as naive and as silly as you, it's incredible.
And as passionate.
Yeah. And that they kind of go, you know, you kind of bounce off each other and you kind of help push each other along. So like there is the emotional like part of the journeys and the, you know, as you're saying, like the down parts where you're like, oh, I just can't do this anymore, and you get someone who's going, look, I've been through this, just push through. Here's what you need to do. So it is like the network is hugely valuable.
Yeah, and I found over the years that there's a whole Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur alumni that you can tap into as well. So you've got the 24 from this year, but you've also got another 50, 60 from other years. And it's interesting that you're talking about other participants in completely different industries. And at the end of the day, a business is a business, and we all go through similar challenges regardless of whether we're selling the best goddamn gin in the planet or whether we are the mobility TripAdvisor. So 100%. Wish you the best of luck. What county are we representing?
Team Offaly.
Hashtag Team Offaly. Go on Offaly. Fantastic.
Great.
It's been awfully nice talking to you. There you go.
Terrible.
Oh no.
Oh.
There you go. I had to ruin it at the end, didn't I? All the best, mate.
Cheers.
Take care. And talking about the TripAdvisor for accessibility, my next guest is coming in now. Very, very special gentleman that I spoke to. What was it on? What was it? Wednesday, Thursday at the pitching gate? Thursday at the pitching gate. God, time flies when you're having fun. I love your business idea. I'll even download the app and I've played around with it. So for the guys that don't know who you are and what your business is, tell us your name and your business and what amazing thing that your business does.
So my name is Matt. I'm the founder of Access Earth, and what Access Earth does in a nutshell is it's, as you said, it's the TripAdvisor for the people with mobility needs. So what they do is they will rate places like hotels, restaurants or coffee shops by their accessibility based on what devices they're using, because everyone's accessibility needs are different.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what we're
and it's fantastic, and I mean it happens a lot. I mean, I'm even thinking, and this may be completely wrong, but I'm even thinking, you know, mums with buggies and stuff, you rock up to a place and you can't get to where you want to go to because you had no idea. So I see something amazing here. So there's an app that you can download, and then you can participate in. So if I'm at a place and there's a mobility problem, I can actually flag it to your app. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. So we ask people sort of 7 yes or no questions.
Yeah.
About whether it's step-free entrance or the door's wide enough, that sort of thing. But also you can leave what we call access tips. So it's like, for instance, there's a ramp on the side, or things like that. So you don't rock up to a place and think, I can't get in here, but then you look at the app and go, actually, there's an entrance.
Brilliant. Amazing stuff. So the app, if I was to search it on the App Store or Google Play, what do I type in to find the app?
Access Earth.
Access Earth.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that because I have it. It's fantastic. So Access Earth. It's well worth downloading. And you missed one of the key days, and this is only me being earwigging. I was listening to this. You missed one of the days here in this competition because you were pitching or talking or showcasing to the UN. Am I correct? Correct?
So we were awarded, it's called the Zero Project Conference, which is hosted by the UN, where every year they award different practices and policies based on their innovation in the area. In this year it was accessibility, and we had the opportunity and privilege to be given one of those awards. And it was brilliant. It meant that we could speak with people all over the world and just connect with countries that we never thought we'd be able to before we went there.
I'm speaking to someone that's pitched to the UN. That's amazing. It's fantastic. It's quite incredible. For you, my friend, what entrepreneurial tip would you give to someone that's thinking of setting up their business at the moment?
Make sure that the people you bring along to the journey with you share your vision.
Okay.
And that's key, because you're going to go through tough times.
Yeah.
And to know that the people around you are there to take you through that is it's what gets you through.
No, I think that's really good advice, and sometimes very difficult to find the right people that share your vision. So don't settle with someone that doesn't share your vision. It causes you all sorts of trouble. We're representing Team Kildare, isn't it?
Yes.
So hashtag Team Kildare. Fantastic. Go on, Kildare. And the Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur experience for you, how's it been?
Oh, it's been phenomenal, because at the start of this I was a software engineer.
Okay.
I was not a business person, and as this has kind of gone on, I've learned how to pitch, learned how to speak in sentences about my business, and how to write a coherent business plan, which has helped us to get funding, because it's just turned me into a more rounded entrepreneur. And I think it's all down to the people that you meet and the stories that you hear about the brilliant businesses that are on show here today that really...
Well, certainly from the first time I met you, one thing that comes through is the passion for what you're doing, which I think is fantastic. So hopefully, if the journey's helped to showcase that passion more, that's absolutely fantastic. It's not long to go before the final kicks off at 1 o'clock. So what I've got to say is, go on, Team Kildare, and best of luck, Access Earth.
Thanks a million.
Best of luck. Speak to you soon. Now, how do you follow that? I don't know. Pity the next person that's up here.
Kate's in trouble. Yeah, good luck with that, Kate.
Kate. It happens to be me.
If someone was able to talk a storm and to smile and to engage with an audience, it would probably be Kate.
Yeah, it's hard to follow Access Earth, but today is Earth Day.
It is Earth Day, and I did call you the Muscle Queen on Thursday.
I've heard that so many times, and so thank you for that.
Well, it's good. It could be called worse.
Well, this is it, yeah.
So to anyone that's listening in that doesn't know, Kate, tell us your name and your business and what your business does.
Okay, so my name is Kate Dempsey, and my business is Irish Mussel Seed Company. And what we do is we sustainably source the mussel industry's raw material. It's what they dredge for at sea, but we source it in a sustainable way with an overall zero carbon footprint. So we're saving the environment while saving the industry from going into further decline.
And you said the last time to me, you said it's not these kind of muscles.
It's not.
It's the muscles in the seed. Yeah. And you're also saying, so that's amazing. So you're creating muscle seed in a sustainable way in a
offshore.
Offshore in a environmental way. And I wouldn't have known, but I mean, is there a shortage of mussels out there?
There are. I mean, the industry has a huge capacity, but it's only limited by the amount of mussel seed they can source.
Of course.
And because there hasn't been enough to service the industry, businesses are closing, and so they have a real problem that they need a real Irish solution to. You would think that they might be able to fly them in from another country, but unfortunately they're a live animal. They don't travel very well. And the mortality rate then is high, it's costly. So we're really happy to be able to support the industry with an Irish solution.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure in time you'll be flying it elsewhere. you'll be supplying all the UK shores.
Yeah, well, that's the future plans.
The future plans. How did an idea like that even come up? Like, where do you sit at home and go, you know what, I'm going to set up a business around mussel seed? So how did it come up?
I'm a fisherman's daughter.
Okay.
Cool.
So
So I've always been aware of what's going on in the fishing industry, but I went off and I studied law. And when I came home, I realised what kind of devastation has taken place in the industry and how much it's gone into decline. And so I decided I would create a few jobs, design an industry that would be sustainable and that would go forward into the future in a way that would allow the future generations to enjoy the same natural resource that we're going to take our mussel seed from.
So that's amazing. So you come up with the idea. How did you get the expertise, or how did you manage to turn this from a brilliant idea into something now that is turning into reality?
Yeah, like every business, it starts with an idea.
Yeah.
But I then had to go and study aquaculture, and I'm doing a HDIP in business management and aqua business with Carlo IT, and it's been fantastic. I've learned so much about business, and IBYE is the first competition that I entered into through the Leo in Wicklow. So #Team Wicklow.
Team Wicklow.
And I've learned so much on my journey. I've met so many incredible people and incredible businesses. And it's really opened up opportunities for me, and I'm quite sure for all the other companies as well, because at this level, at the national finals, they're wonderful companies.
So one thing that's really interesting is you're putting in so much work, you're upskilling, this isn't something that you suddenly do overnight. And you're also doing what a lot of entrepreneurs have to do, is you're supplementing your income by working hard. So you're working elsewhere while you're making your dream happen.
That's it. Family life goes on, life happens. I have a daughter, she's 4, so I'm very busy with her, and I'm a single mom as well, so it's even doubly busy. But I'm working part-time with An Garda Síochána. They're really supportive of me, and I've been able to get some time off when I need it. I work part-time, so the other part of the time I'm in college and working on Irish Mussel Seed Company.
I'm gonna have to stop you. You can't be the mussel queen anymore. I think you'll have to be Wonder Woman for all you're managing to do, which is amazing. Through your journey, if you were to go back even 2 years and to give a younger version of you an entrepreneurial tip, what would that tip be?
I think just follow your gut instinct, because if I had a thought about it a long time ago, I would have realised I was always going to be in this industry. And going off and studying law, yes, it's really helped me along the way, but I feel like I could have done this earlier. And as well as that, do something that you just love, something where your passion is right there, because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
And that's what I have to say.
Which is pretty good. And then last but not least, I mean, we've been through an incredible journey with the Ireland Best Young Entrepreneur competition. Tell us how it's been for you and how it's benefited you.
I can't even begin to explain to you how awful I truly was at pitching at the very start. And now today I find myself on the Google stage at the national finals of IBYE, and I'm actually competent, able to speak, and sometimes make a bit of sense. So I've come a huge way with my public speaking. And as well, obviously they're all about looking at your business plan and how is it you're going to go forward in the future, and it really makes you consider what you're doing, why you're doing it, and where you're going to go next.
So it's been wonderful.
I just can't believe that you struggled with public speaking.
I know.
You've got such a wonderful natural demeanour.
Yeah.
So best of luck in the finals today. Just be your beautiful self,
Oh,
and
thank you.
hashtag Team Wicklow
All
and
the way.
all the way. So Wonder Woman, Muscle Queen, call her what you will. She's fantastic.
Thank you.
Lovely meeting you,
Take care.
Kate. Take care. And then,
Contestants are going into the
That's
for the
perfect.
next few minutes, so Sheila's going to sit with you there and do the final interview.
brilliant. So we've got another Wicklow connection, don't we?
So, hi.
It's great
Greg.
to see you.
How are you?
So at
Nice
least
to
once
see
a
you
year
again.
we see
We
each
do,
other
yes.
have a
I'm
chat.
back again, yes.
Anyway,
Um,
so for anyone that doesn't know you, shame on you. So maybe the best thing to do is to say who you are and what you do, because you're a vital cog in the wheel that is the success of Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur.
Okay, well, my role, I'm actually the head of enterprise in the local enterprise office Wicklow. I'm also chair of the network of local enterprise offices, and I suppose I've been representing the local enterprise offices in our IBYE initiative since it started in 2014. So I suppose what's it, you know, this is an initiative of the local enterprise offices, and as I said, this is the 4th year that it has been running, and the local enterprise offices, essentially our remit is to encourage entrepreneurship, to support people who want to start up businesses, and to help existing businesses to grow. Job creation would be one of the overriding objectives of the government putting all of this support in place. And of course, one of the key things about the local enterprise offices, which makes us quite unique, is the fact that we are so deeply embedded in the local communities, because we are actually part of the local authority network. So there is a local enterprise office in every local authority area. So there's 31 across the country, which means that there is that very easy connection at local level for people to make even in person, and to get the best type of support that they need.
And every single finalist that's come through, not this year but in previous years, will all say the same thing, and that simple thing is the local enterprise office has been instrumental in helping their business grow and move to the next level. You're so good, because we're literally being called in as we speak.
We're going to have to go, unfortunately, but thanks for the time, Greg.
My absolute pleasure. So if you're in business, don't hesitate to contact your local enterprise office and ask for help. That's what they're there for.
Thanks.
Lovely meeting you.
You too.
We'll
Thanks,
see you
Greg.
soon. See you at least next year anyway.
Sheila, I need you really quickly for photograph.
So guys, it's all starting to kick off. It's all starting to happen. It's 12:42 now, and everyone's been called into the auditorium. Right behind us here, and nerves are jangling and tensions are fueling. We expect the show or event to go from 1 o'clock today to 2:30. So it should be all done and dusted by about 2:30 p.m. today. So at 2:30 p.m. today, we will know exactly who Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur will be. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Matthew McCann from Access Earth, who we talked, who's got the TripAdvisor of mobility apps? Is it going to be Kate Dempsey from the Irish Muscle Seed Company, hashtag Team Wicklow, we just spoke to her there? Or Kevin Kelleher, who was, I don't know whether he was, who didn't come in to see us because he's probably a little bit nervous at this stage again, from Ostoform, hashtag Team Dublin, and representing Fingal County Council, or Fingal County, Noel Dykes from Frankly, who we spoke to on Thursday, if you remember him. We have Mark Baldwin from Globopod, hashtag Team Meath, and Noel was hashtag Team Sligo, by the way. We had Brendan Boland, who's got the longest name of the lot, Lorthopedics or something like that. Essentially, he's found a solution for thumb arthritis, to make it quite simplistic. Is he going to be the winner? There's Patrick Hayes from mybev.ie representing Limerick. Brendan was Galway, by the way. And Joe, do you remember Joe, our first guest today from Remote Signals representing Cork City. That was a guy that nearly left his kids, nearly lost his kids on Thursday. I'll have to go back and watch previous videos to find out what I'm talking about there. Or is it going to be Kieran Gorman from Bevcraft Limited representing Westmeath? He's one of the best startup businesses category. John McNichols from Inspire Tiles and Stone, again best startup business category, hashtag Team Mayo. Or Connor Lydon, who we spoke to on Thursday, Trust App. And the interesting thing about Connor, who's representing Cork, is he was flying over from the US for the finals that got postponed because of the snow. So he's travelled a lot of mileage to be here today. Maurice Sheedy from Fleet, hashtag Team Wicklow. Or could it be Niall Harty from Harty Nutrition Limited, hashtag Team Kerry? We spoke to him the other day. Ciara McGlynn from Niche SSP, hashtag Donegal. We spoke to her as well. Construction recruitment in the US from Donegal. Or Jessica Kavanagh, who we spoke to earlier on, who develops wool in Cavan, hashtag Team Cavan. And then we have Alan Hickey from Web Ring. Who else is up for the finals? There's Nicola Reedy from Celtic Adventurers, hashtag Team Louth. We have Connor O'Loughlin from Glowfox, hashtag Team Dublin representing Dunleary and Rathdown. Or could Ireland's best young entrepreneur be Thomas McLaughlin from Thaddeus? God, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. Hashtag Team Donegal. Paddy Finn, who's been in the competition before, Electricity Exchange Limited, hashtag Team Limerick. Again, he's creating virtual power stations. He's up. Will he be Ireland's best young entrepreneur? Or could it be Owen Tracy, representing Kilkenny from Glonway, is the name of his business. Or Robbie Scouse, that could be a potential mispronunciation as well, from Collect.ie representing Team Waterford, hashtag Team Waterford. Or the guy with the best beard in the Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur competition by a country mile, the gin entrepreneur, more Irish gin from Team Offaly. Could it be Owen Barra? And last but certainly not least, could Ireland's best young entrepreneur be Daniel Loftus from Urban Fox representing Team Mayo, hashtag Mayo? Who will it be? We will find out 2:30. I'll be back here just a little bit after 2:30, and hopefully we will meet the winner of Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur, and we'll find out who Ireland's Best Young Entrepreneur of 2018 is going to be. So until then, from Greg Fry, it's bye-bye for now. I'll see you later this afternoon. Take care.